Hello everybody. So, today we're going to discuss what we were just doing. Now, prior to this, you saw a clip of me doing a Blight. Apologies, I did start the recording with the Blight in progress, but I have actually ripped several of these because my build's defenses are terrible at the moment. So I wasn't sure if this one would be worth recording. So, what do we got here? We have the new scarab changes from GGG combined with some old stuff with Blight to try and make a profit. Now, again, my build's defenses are, well, non-existent. So, if you are playing a tanky build, like for instance the Cast When Stunned Chieftain from last week that I played, then you could probably take and do 8 mod versions of this. I can't. I'm not going to try. Instead, what I'm doing is a budget, effectively league starter version, is I am taking a originator map, usually an influence map such as the Maze of the Minotaur, Maze of the Chimera, Maze of the Phoenix, things like that. I actually prefer Forge of the Phoenix, Maze of the Minotaur, and Lair of the Hydra. The Pit of the Chimera map is kind of lame, and the boss is even lamer, so I just generally don't do that one. But these maps literally cost like 2 chaos to buy, not even kidding, and 1,000 gold to buy it for instant trade. Definitely worth getting because they're tier 16.5s, but then at the end of it you have a boss that guaranteed gives you a Shaper Fragment. And while the Shaper Fragments are not worth a lot at the moment, they are worth 2, 3, 4, or even 5C, which pays for the map. So definitely worth considering. Next up, we are using Scarab of the Wisps. Now, if your build can handle it, this is a good Scarab. If your build cannot handle it, this is not a good Scarab. A good replacement for this is actually the Nemesis Scarab. I am not using Nemesis at the moment because at the time of recording, since GGG buffed them, they're 20 chaos each. This is a budget mapping setup. I am not bothering. So we have a 2C map. These are like, I think 1 to 2C or something like that. Like it's some ridiculous number. They're almost 1 to 1, so yeah, call them 1.5. We'll just call it 1.5C just for the sake of argument. So 3.5. The Delirium Orb itself is 8 chaos usually, so right now we're at about 10, 12C. The Blight Heart Scarabs are less than a chaos, and then the Possession Scarabs are 3 to a chaos. So you got 1C here, call it 1C here, so 4, 6, maybe 7, 15, 16. You got like 16 chaos. Prices will probably rise some. And then this last video that you guys watched, I did not do this because I forgot. However, a very good thing is to actually buy chisels, Maven chisels. These chisels cost uh, 5 chaos each at the moment, 5.5. So get them while they're cheap, like this. Look at that, 20 chaos, and I've got 4 of these chisels. These chisels, when applied to your map, well, more currency, 70%, 170% more currency. So you're spending 20 chaos, but you are quite literally giving a more multiplier of 100% to your map. Now, more multipliers and increased multipliers, for instance, like item quantity, they stack, but there are diminishing returns. Some people will go out of their way to get like 300, 400% currency maps, but then those maps have poor pack size or poor item quantity, and just they're not very good. I find personally that one of the best things to do is you buy the cheap chisels, whether it be Avarice, whether it be Scarab, pack size, whatever, and then you roll your map. You roll your map with alteration orbs to hit 1 or 2 of the other mods. Now this map, I hit the curse mod. The curse mod gives 50% more scarabs. And then I just simply auged it and I hit the bloodstained sawblade, which gives 70% more currency. None of these mods really affect me. I am curse immune. Most builds will be curse immune, especially with the new Foulborns and a lot of that stuff. And the bloodstained sawblades, they do hurt if you stand on them, but if you're bleed immune, or corrupted blood immune, whichever it is, which most people are, these mods don't matter. So really, it's as if I have a map here that just reads 26 quant, 170% more currency, 50% more scarabs. Now, people might be wondering, why are we running this particular scarab setup? Well, we'll go ahead and do one more map here and just kind of show you. So this is the map. Wisps, everybody knows what wisps do. If you don't know, they put a multiplier on them depending on which type of wisp they get that can increase rarity, quantity, or currency quantity. These stack multiplicatively with other things such as the modifiers on the monster themselves, if they're rare or magic, such as the item quantity and more currency from the map, player quantity, which doesn't really exist outside of standard, things like that. We're running Blight Heart. Blight Heart has a single chest, which is kind of a downside, but also can be a major upside. Those of you that saw the recent Blight short that was put out about opening the Blight Heart jewel chest or gem chest and getting 7 level 1 enlightens, you know what I'm talking about. So that's one. And then finally, the new tech for this league, the Torment Scarab of Possession. Now, this scarab basically never saw use in past. GGG buffed it. It's still only a 25% chance for the monster to be possessed, but now it possesses it by up to 3 tormented spirits. Now, when we read these, logically we would think, oh, okay, monsters have a 25% chance to get 3. We have 3 of them, so they have a 75% chance to be possessed by up to 3 tormented spirits. Yeah, no, that's not actually how this works, because reasons. Instead, rare monsters have a 25% chance to be possessed by 3 tormented spirits, 6 tormented spirits, 9 tormented spirits. And these spirits gain the rare and incredibly powerful Tormentor's Grip mod. Tormented spirits, for those of you who don't know, when they touch a monster, they get the Touched mod. The Touched mod gives a large buff, but the Grip mod is only possible when the monster possesses a rare or unique monster. It is a much stronger version. It gives a lot of item quantity, rarity, things like that. These rare monsters that get possessed are going to have up to 9 of these. It's ridiculous. We're running the Searing Exarch altars. We are only doing this because we don't really have a better choice. We can't really go over to the Eaters. We don't have the points. So on that, let's go ahead and talk about the tree. So my tree is a destructive play Calgar Settler Blight tree. I combine these contents because there is a lot of synergy between them, but also because I really love Blight content, as you may have guessed. So it's what I do. Settlers is really good, especially if you combine it with the Settlers on the tree, Atlas, and then the Scarab that gives the refined bars. You can combine that with Sulfite like I also do. You'll notice here that I have the Sulfite nodes here. This is because when I run a single Sulfite Scarab, this results in a 10% or 12% increase, which is then made 150% stronger by the Scarab. So we have Epidemiology. I recently discovered, because lots of testing and it didn't work this way, this particular node will actually give you a chance that the final Scarab chest, or Blight chest rather, is openable twice. This is a huge boon to your loot potential if you roll one of the good Blight chests. Example being the gem chest that dumps out a whole bunch of enlightens. So if you get that, it's great. It's not a lot of points. The lucky also works. Makes it so that you have a better chance for whatever comes out to be re-rolled. The Lost in Transit for the shipments. You are running settlers, but really what's going on is you have one guaranteed shipment per, or one guaranteed ore deposit per map. This makes it so you have a 50% chance to have 2. You run it on the map device, so you go up to 3 guaranteed with one 50% chance of having a 4th. And then you're taking Bismuth. As you know, Bismuth causes magic and rare monsters to gain elemental damage modifiers. Bismuth Infusion here makes it so there's a chance that they will get an additional modifier. This is just huge. I am currently running the Verisium one. If you're going all in on the Blight, you would drop this because you really just care about the Bismuth, getting the Bismuth. So, ultimately, what does this mean? You do a map. When you go to do your Blight encounter, you are going to have a rare monster with all the rare monster modifiers, increase quantity, increase rarity. That monster is going to then have up to 9 of these modifiers, which is again even more quant and rarity multipliers, plus potentially 2 more if you run the Nemesis Scarab instead of the Wisps. Or, again, if your build can handle it, or you're actually doing the weaker versions like I am, the Wisps will just be yet another more multiplier to the rewards that they drop. Now, I am not sure whether it's better to go for Scarab or Currency at this time. Drop rates and things are a little weird. I don't know. But if you're going to do this strategy, you really have to do it on a linear map, not a short map. You don't want to do this on, like, say, Toxic Sewer, because you actually want lots of portals. The portals each will have towers, and at the end, the Templar Ingenuity here allows you to salvage those towers. The more different types you build and the higher level they are, the better your rewards are, as you can see here. So in that last map, you may have seen, I ended up building one of every type of tower and upgrading all of the towers except for one, because I built too many stun towers, into the tier 4 versions of them. This dramatically increased my rewards at the end. And had I had more faith in my abilities, I might have actually left some of them as tier 3 so that I had the tier 4 and tier 3 towers. But I digress. I then just simply alteration spam for these mods, and away we go. Stay tuned for another video on how to basically get all of your Atlas crafts completely for free, or effectively for free, which will really help you out if you like Harvest, Settlers, Ritual, and Heist. But that'll be in a future video. So we're going to go ahead and start this up real quick. Head on in. I may show you the entire map. I may not. It depends on how quickly I get to the Blight. I might only show a little bit. So we see here 198% more currency and 70% more scarab. Yes, that's nowhere near as good as what can be achieved with a map that's been properly rolled, but we are not properly rolling. Also, my loot filter is scuffed at the moment, so I am having to change. What do we got here? Burning ground when they hit you? Yeah, I don't care. Okay. It's more quant. We like quant. What do we got here? I don't have any armor and evasion anyway, so okay. We'll go ahead and do this, just because it's right here. Alright. Ooh. Something almost one-shot me. And these are rare or magic monsters. Like, these aren't even the really powerful, really juiced ones like that guy who has the tormented spirit on him. See? He dropped all that loot because he has all those grip modifiers. Look at that. 6 mods. Plus, and you can't see it because I died, he also has all of his normal rare monster modifiers, which is, I believe, between 3 and 6 monster modifiers. So he's got 6 tormented spirit modifiers, plus an additional 3 to 6 rare monster modifiers. Then if we get a bismuth ore, it's going to be even more monster modifiers, and you can see how this can get out of hand real quick. We also have the memory petals. Now, the memory petals are interesting. Only some of them are really good. Like, this one's really good because it can upgrade monsters to magic or rare. If it upgrades a monster to rare, that monster is okay, this guy's really dangerous. It is going to upgrade the monster and give it the chance to become possessed. The downside of possessed monsters is I do run, at least at the moment, I am running the scarab or the conversion mod, which will make it so that rare loot and things like that from possessed monsters can sometimes be turned into dust. This is actually a bad thing for this strategy, but I'm running it right now because well, basically, I'm just trying to see how it goes. I'm trying to see how much dust I get as well, to see if it might be something worthwhile. I don't think it is, but we'll see. We're going to go ahead and do this as well, because I want the Verzium more. It's early enough in the league. And we're not going to fill it all the way full, because again, my build is Super weak at the moment. I do a lot of damage. I don't do any tanking. So, just a nice, simple, linear layout map. The Delirium Orb might sound like it's a bad thing because it adds powerful modifiers to all these monsters, but it's actually a good thing. Most rare monsters that get possessed will stop what they're doing periodically to use a Delirium spell. The Delirium spell, where they split in half and then summon a ghostly apparition, is super weak and will basically do nothing to you. So instead of using their regular auto attacks and spells, which are buffed up by like the all the different ghost mods and stuff like that, they'll instead use the incredibly weak abilities of the Delirium, and you'll get to wail on them for free. Highly recommend it. Just a single one. It gives 20% less, or not 20%. It gives 20% Delirium, which means that you'll get simulacrum stuff, a lot more monsters to kill, a lot more loot potential, increased quant, all that good stuff. But really the most important thing is probably the fact that it just straight up neuters a lot of rare and unique monsters that could otherwise kill you. Alright, we're going to just go ahead and blow through here. There's another possessed guy. I'm not even going to look to see how many he's got. It's really, really dangerous for me to stop moving and do stuff. Also, you will notice periodically I pause the game without going into a menu. That is another neat little thing from this league. GGG added in a new mechanic for us, and that is the market, which allows you to look for items from in-game, buy them, go to the hideout, all that good stuff. Well, it just so happens that it also pauses the game. So, normally this isn't a great deal, because when you pause a game, by like hitting escape or, you know, pulling up this and pausing it, you can't do anything. Well, that's not the case with this one, as you will see here in a moment. Now, we are going to go ahead and run it. Oh, this is a split lane Blight, which is actually terrible. Tower locations are pretty crappy, but that's okay. We'll make the best of it. We'll go and do this, we'll put a flame tower down, and now we should be able to just ignore that side entirely for now. We'll put a tower here. We'll put a upgrade tower here. And then, if we hit pause, we can build towers, we can upgrade towers, we can do all of it while the game is paused. Pretty good. Oh, and I blinked right into that bloodstained saw blade. Like I said, not having any physical resistances, it just dies. Dies super easily to some of this stuff. Alright. These guys are actually getting through, which is not cool at all. Alright, we'll go ahead and upgrade this to a meteor tower. We'll upgrade this. Build a flame tower here and upgrade it. We'll do minion tower here. Something's slowing me, not sure what. Oh. Haha, no wonder. I was supposed to put these on. These rings are what make your blights easier. What's your chilling towers freeze, so that's no longer useful. And it makes your meteor towers drop burning ground, which is what kills all these trash mobs. Unfortunately, I goofed and did not put the rings on because I'm busy talking to all of you and not paying attention to what I'm doing. But that's okay, because these rings, the rings I have on, give me a ton of damage. Oh my gosh, being able to pause, catch your breath, think about what you're doing. Oh, look. Here, this guy here. There we go. There you go. You see he's got the Delirium mod, Bolt Cross. Well, that's one mod. He's got 5. So he didn't max roll, so he's got 5 of the grip mods. Cold, chill, and freeze resistant, hasted, and 2 other modifiers. That means in total he has 10 mods. That is a ton of modifiers, which means he'll give a lot of loot. I also totally forgot to use all these. Oh well, that's okay. So there we go. There's the rewards. I did not have the chance to upgrade these all to tier 4 at the end. Again, too distracted talking, but you do want to make sure towards the end that you pause, upgrade all your towers to tier 4 if there's only like a few monsters left. It will do you a world of good. Collect all the gold, grab the exalted orb and the scarabs, whatever you drop. We did get a... Oop. That's interesting. Some extra monsters appeared. We did get a crappy one, Blight chest, which is only the weapons. It's not good. We are going to go ahead and open it though. Yeah, it was all garbage, as expected. Currency wise, we didn't really get anything good from the Blight pump. Scarabs are kind of whatever right now. The more scarabs found in map stuff does affect these salvaging when you salvage them. So something to keep in mind there too. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the filter back to normal real quick. We got 7 rewards. Not great, not terrible. Not sure why that's showing up. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. You can actually do pretty well, like I said, especially if you have a strong build, which I just don't. Run through, clear the map. This is the loot that we picked up from all of this. It's not a lot, but that could have been a divine. It just wasn't. I didn't do the league mechanic. I don't plan to do the league mechanic. I just don't care. And then the boss. We'll go ahead and do the boss real quick. Wherever he went. There he is. Oh. And he beat me. Alright, well, I got 2 portals left, so I don't care. Another cool thing about the Delirious stuff is when he goes underground, it makes it really easy to see where he's going. Blink. Oh, I'm at the wrong spot. Alright, let's go try taking him down. See what I mean? He stops moving to cast the Deli spell, which doesn't do anything. Deli spell again. Oh, and I died to being slammed. Well, he is like at 1 HP. And there we go. Got the fragment, killed him, no big deal. Easy. And that's all there is to it. Anyways, I hope you guys all learned something new. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.